All right. So we want to make a game, a board game, and then we will learn some tricks or some necessary skills when building board games. Now, to build a board game, first you have to build the board before you have the players that will play. If you want to play 1v1, one versus one, or you want to play against the computer, you can also we can also learn. We will see how to program these two different types of game. You can program like 1v1, you play against another player, or you play against the computer. Now, let me not repeat that again. Let's get started. So first, we want to design our game. Normally in games, you design the game, and then we can go full screen to play the game like this. All right. So now, we normal games we can check here. This is a backdrop, and here is a sprite. Some games we can use a backdrop. We can use it like this if you want to get like a platform game where an object will be moving and then jumping obstacles and that. Those are platform games. But we are not making a platform game, so we will not use this backdrop. We'll not use a backdrop like this. We'll build our platform as a sprite. So we'll come here, we paint a sprite. So to paint the sprite is empty. We have to zoom in so that you see the pixels. Now, when you zoom in, you see these little squares. If you zoom out, they get smaller and smaller. So now zooming in helps us to draw things to dimension, because these squares are 4 pixels by 4 pixels. So if I want to draw, we'll be drawing a 32 by 32 pixel square. So if you zoom out like this, it helps you to draw that. Now to draw, we'll have no outline. Now this is the outline. We'll click here, we check here, no outline. We'll only have the fill, what will fill in the middle. All right, and then we'll use this rectangle tool here to draw. Now to draw, we start here from the middle. You see right here, this is the center. At the center here, we count up 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 4 times 4, that is 16 pixels. So if you draw from here right to this center, that is 16 pixels tall. You just drop it like that. And then now we can drag it down again, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is another 16 pixels. So now we have a height of 32 pixels. Now, right here in the middle, we can now go right, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 16 pixels wide. And then this direction also 4. That is another 16 pixels wide. So now we have a square of 32 by 32. And if you look at it on the screen here, if we go full screen, this is how a 32 by 32 pixel will look on the screen. So there we go. And then you zoom in again perfectly to check the corners. You can zoom in, we move and check the corners, and we deselect. We have to deselect to check exactly to see that we are not into the next squares. We're exactly there. We check, oh, this side, we need a little bit. We need to push it a little bit because it's very important. We're missing like 1 pixel here. So we use a select tool, select, and then we push it a little bit, 1 pixel there. Okay, and then we zoom in again and check. Check is, you see again, woohoo. We are having some room to maneuver. We maneuver a little bit again. Okay, so we have to get it close to perfection. Yeah, because the little gap there will come and haunt us later. So we have to make sure that we are leaving no gaps. Okay, so that's it. That's it. I think it's good enough. Is good enough, is good enough. Yep, it's good enough. All right, so there we go. We have this as our square. Now we use this square as a tile to build the board. Now most board games like draughts, like chess, like checkers, those board games, we know that they're made up of tiles like that. So for chess, it's 8 by 8. So here we'll see how to fill this thing because there'll be a little math that we'll be engaging in right now. So now let's see how we go about building that. So let's do some math. Now we go to operator and we'll bring this operator, multiplication operator here. And we see that from end to end, we have what? The width of our screen here is 400 what? 480. Oh, sorry, we have to bring by the division tile here and not that. 480. So we will take 480 and we'll divide it by 32. We divide it by 32 to see that we'll have exactly 15 tiles. So 480 divided by 32, the answer here is 15. So we can stack up 15 of these tiles along the way. So how do we do it to build it? Now we go to code. We are in coding here. We can code it here. So we go to code. And to show that we have 16, we can just do something like this. And then we have to start. Where do we need to start? We have to start. We take the subtraction, the addition. We take the addition and check. The negative left flank of the screen is 240, the x direction. And we have to add 16. 16 will be what? Half of it. 16 will be half of our what? Half of our tile. So here we have negative 224. And then now we have to take another one again. We have to do from the bottom. The bottom is at negative 180. We have to take negative 180 and we add 16. And we calculate the other center, negative 164. So we have to go to exactly this position. We have to go to exactly negative 224 and negative 164. Negative 164. So if we execute this, our tile will be exactly at the bottom left corner. And if we go full screen, we'll see exactly how that looks like. You see, it is fitting right here at the bottom left corner, exactly in view. We can see it. We can see all of it. Yes, because we've pushed 16 pixels. The middle, the center of it is right there, the center. 16 pixels towards the right and 16 pixels above. Yeah, so right there at that corner, there we go. And then we will fill the tile up. We'll fill it up. Now, to fill it up, we could just use the idea of clones, right? We use the ideas of clones. So we'll probably say in the beginning of our game, when flag is clicked, we go to the events, we bring when flag is clicked. So when we click the flag, and then remember, we said how many times? Is it 15 times? So we go to control and we repeat how many times? Repeat how many times? We repeat how many times? 15 times, and we go again, we are here, and we make a clone. So we just make a clone, 15 of those clones, and each time we have to push our X by what? We have to move the X to the right by what? By 32. The center is, look at where our center is. So in the beginning of our process, we have this. Remember what we are doing. We want to use the tile to fill up horizontally. So we move the whole, to move the whole tile to the next, we have to move what? 32. So we are moving the center. The center right now is at what? The center right now is at negative 224. So we have to move it 32. We shift it 32. And then we can put a little delay. We can go and put a little delay of 1 second to see how that will look like. All right, so if we do that, this is what happens. See, that's how we're building it. We're building it like that. Now, if you look at it like this, you may not really see what we are actually building because we're using we're building it, but you will not see the different tiles. If we go full screen, you see the little gaps. You see the little gaps? You'll go full screen now, you see the little gaps. Yeah, and these little gaps is because our measurement was not very accurate. Our measurement was not very accurate, so we had some room of like a pixel to fill up. Okay, so what we'll do is we can use. So if I stop this, we'll delete all that. If we start the program, don't worry, that our tile will come back here. Our tile will come back right here. So we can use, since we're using the blue color, we can use, we can go to looks and we change color. we can go to looks and we change color here by 100%. Now, if you change color by 100%, you only get 2 alternating colors. Because to go to blue, you will go to the next one, then you get 100%, it goes to the next one. So from blue to the other color, that is 100% away from where blue is. And then if you do 100%, you come back to blue. So we'll just alternate 2 colors here. So you see, that's what is happening now because of the 100%. But if you have black color and you put 100%, it will just be black, 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 black. If you have white, you put 100%, you come back to white. If you have black, you put 100%, you come back to black. Yeah, but if you have something like blue there, at the end, woohoo! So at the end we have this one at the end here. So you see, so if you remove that, so we got all that filled up. Then now we have to, after we do this repeat, we have to what? We have to come up and then fill again from the right, coming towards the left, right? So we have to go up what? We have to go up y 32. Very good. So we come back here and we put another repeat, okay, to do the y, and then we check for the y. 180, y is 360. The y direction is 360 high. 360 divided by 32, I have 11.25. 11.25. All right, we have 11.25, so we're gonna repeat 11 times. So we can have full 11 tiles. So, and then after we finish this one, after we get to the end of the 15, we have to, after we get to the end of the 15, now we'll do 14. Since we're there, we'll move 14 times. We have 15 stuff, but we have to move, but 14, we have to move exactly 14 tiles. And then we will go up, and then we'll change at the end there, we'll change our y. We'll change our y, but this time around, yeah, so let's do that. We change our y by 32, so we go to change y. After all that, we have the change y down here at the bottom. Okay, so the change y comes after the repeat. So we'll change y by 32. We change y by 32, but we have to reset our x. We change y by 32. We have to reset our x back. We have to reset our x back to negative what? Negative 224. So we come back to the beginning. We reset our x to what? So when we draw to the end, we reset our x back to that. And then this time, since we want to draw the whole stuff, we can make it very fast. We can just wait for 0.2 seconds. All right, so this is the program now that we have. Okay, we start at this position. We repeat 11 times. That's the outer repeat. When we get into the inner repeat, the inner loop, the outer loop, we'll do it 11 times. What do we do 11 times? We'll repeat this 14. This inner loop, we'll repeat this 14. 11 of this 14. So that's the number of squares that we want to print. And we use our clone to clone it as we move along. So again, we'll stop this. We start here. So we do it a little faster. It comes to the next row. Okay, so we have a problem. We have to go right to the end. We have to go right to the end. So we have to do bed 15, not 14. So we come back to that. Okay, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So now everything is working smoothly. Everything is working smoothly. We are building it. So we are repeating 11 times. So our 11 rows. Yes, while we build the rows, the column is 15. So 11 rows alternating. Why are we alternating the colors? Because we have an odd number. We have 15. Each row is 15 units, so we'll alternate. If you have an even number of entries for each row, then it will not alternate like this. And that's the last one over here. So at the end, this last one, you can just decide to hide it so that we don't see it. At the end, you hide it. So to get this thing to be perfect, what we do here, we go to looks. We go to looks. So in the beginning, we show, okay, as we're drawing everything. At the end, after all that, we hide. All right, but our clones, once we start as a clone, we need to show the clones. So when I start as a clone, I need to show myself. All right. So when I start as a clone, I need to show myself. So in this case now, what we can do is the original one, you just hide it. Yeah, your original the original tile, you hide it, and then when you start as a clone, you show it. Okay. So good. So we just make a little revision to our code. Right. So there we go. And then it looks a little bit slow. If we just change this one to 0, good. We fill our tiles faster. Very good. So in the beginning of our game, we need to fill our tile a little faster. So what we could do is we can create a block. We create a block and we call the block draw board. So in the beginning, we draw our board. So we call this draw board, and then we can run it with that screen refresh, meaning that it will run very, very fast. All right. So if we do draw board, we pick everything here. I don't need to go and draw over there. We pick everything here and we put it under the draw board. And then this weight, we don't even need this weight anymore. And then we have when flag is clicked, and then we run this code. So we've made a function called drawboard. We've defined a function, and then we just we make a function call here. That's it. We make a function call. Okay. Now, let's see. Now, if you want to start your game now in the beginning, you just click here. We've defined a game called a block called drawboard. So this is like a subroutine or function. And we've taken everything under when flag is clicked, we've put it under here. And then now we have now we do drawboard to call. So that's the code. So here, if you just click here, when flag is clicked, you will just see the whole board now will be filled up. Yeah. So that's what we do now. That's what we have, Aquila. That's what we have. You just click here in the beginning, your board is filled. So without any delay, without screen refresh, click and the board is filled. All right. So that's the board. That's the board. That's the program that gave us the board. So now what do? We need a player to play on this board. To make the player, we also use this. We duplicate, and then we duplicate. Then we have this now. But this one is a duplicate. It's a duplicate. We don't need all these things. We delete all these things. We don't need it. It's a duplicate. We remove all this. We don't need it. We delete this. So we don't need it. All that we don't need. So first, let's go and make a game. Now let's go and make a player. Now we can make a white player like a chess piece. We can make a white player like a chess piece. So we go to costume. So this is our costume right here. And we use the reshape tool. We use this tool. Click here, click the reshape tool. And then we can click here and reshape. We pull this 8 pixels in. We come here and we pull 8 pixels in. Okay, and we use the select tool. We push it down. Okay, right down here in the middle or a little bit above. And then we use a circle tool and we draw probably a circle head. Just want to get like, okay. So then we get the color to be white. We can get the color to be white so that we see how that looks on the screen. Can get the color to be white. We come here also, select tool, select here. We change this color also to be white. Okay. And then now, but we still can't see it on the screen. We have to go to code and we go to looks. And then we bring it to the front layer. You go to looks right here. It says go to the front. If you click go to the front, and then we have to also show it. Maybe it's hidden right now. Show it and go to the front. So that's it. That's it right here. And we may want to start it off here as our token to play. The white color is not that. Let's go full screen and see if the white color is conspicuous. The white color is not that bright. I think a hot pink will be perfect. All right, so let's go back to our costume and let's change that color to pink. Okay, get the color to pink. First, we have to select, and then we see our color. Okay, let's get some bright pink. Okay. Doesn't look pink there. Hey, let's go full screen. Let's see if that's not pink. That's not pink. What's happening? What's happening here? Why are we getting pink, but we're not seeing pink? Oh, why is the color changing on the board? It's not the color that we are asking for. Okay, so this as our player will look cool. But once it's moving like this, it looks nicer on the screen while we're playing it. So yeah, so that's our player. We come to code, and then now we can see how to maneuver our player. All right, now to maneuver our player when flag is clicked, what do we need? We need to send our player to its initial position. We'll go to, that will also be negative 164, so that we can be moving our player step by step. So how do we move our player? How do we move our player? We can just say change X by 32. So if our player is also centered like that, to move the player will just be like this. It goes to the next grid, next grid, next grid, next grid. Then we can have a good game. We can have a good game. All right, if we change by negative 32, our player will come back. Okay, come back. Good. All right, so how do we change our player? We have to build something called a dice. We have to build dice. Dice. Now, what's a die? We duplicate this. We will use this to build a die. So again, since this is a new stuff, we don't need all this. We don't need all this. Delete all this. Okay. So we need a die. What's a die? A die has how many sides? 6 sides. Okay. So we come to the die costume here. We name it 1. We just name it 1. And then we change this color to white. We'll see where to place the die. We'll change the whole of this color to white. All right. Okay. And then on top of it, deselect. We'll get to black color. And we want to use this black color to draw a circle. Because die, we have to make costume for the die. 0 in the middle. Now let's go back here to code so that we can see our die. We go to loops and we bring the front layer, and then definitely we also want to show it. We want to show that so that we can position that. So we go to front layer and we show it. So that's our die right here. So we want to place our die right in the center of the game like so. All right, so if we go full screen, this is what we get. Our die is right at the center of the game. If you click on the die, the center should be right here, like this one. Goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then from the side, 6, 7, the 8th. All right, we have to go 1 grid to the left to actually have this at the center of the tiles. All right, so let's go back and we pull this to this. Right here is the center, like so. Okay, we can come and use some finer stuff to shift it. We select both, select this and select this. Okay, and shift it a little bit. Shift. So on the screen, we have to shift it so that we see good. 1 pixel this way, maybe 1 pixel down. Good. That will go full screen. We see that it is really centralized. Not bad. We have a little window here. Okay, it's not bad. We still need to go right a little bit, come down a little bit. Maybe 1 more, 2 more. Let's check that and see. All right, at least we leave that little room there. Not bad. You want 1 more to the right, 1 more below, 2 more. Going 1 pixel at a time. Ooh, to the right, we need a little bit to the right, 1, 2 to the right. Are we messing up the left right now? Ooh, sounds perfect. Looks perfect. All right, so that is die number 1. Now die number 2, we duplicate and we make costumes. So you come here, you do copy, and then you do paste. So now we can make 2. When I roll the die and I got 2, it will look something like this, right? So we check it if it is symmetric. Okay, something like that. And then we duplicate a 2 to make 3. We duplicate here, copy, paste, and we have that in the middle. So that looks like a 3. Perfect. And then we duplicate a 3 to make a 4. Okay, now we copy the one in the middle, copy, and then we paste. All right, we move this somewhere here, or we move this somewhere here to make 4. Okay, so that's a die. When I roll a die, I got 4. And then we duplicate a 4 to make 5. We copy and paste one of this, paste right in the center right there to make 5. Okay, and we do again, copy and paste to make 6 now. We copy, and then we paste. And now we just we move the things apart so that we create a room. We create room for this one to just balance right there. We go up, create more room, pull this one down a little bit, bring this one in the middle right there. Yeah, that looks something like 6. We're not looking for perfection. That is good enough. Okay, so now we'll see that everything is named 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the names here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will come in very handy. Now, how do we program our die? Now, this is important. We've made 6 costumes for the die. That's the die there in the middle. We've made 6 costumes for the die just by having a white background and then black circles in there. All right, now how do we program our die? When flag is clicked? No, when you click on the die, when this sprite is clicked. All right, when the sprite is clicked, what do we do? In the beginning, we need to show it with, when we start the game, when flag is clicked, we need to show everything and we need to pull it to the front layer. Good, so this is just the beginning of the program. Now here, when this sprite is clicked, what do we need here? When this sprite is clicked, how do we program it? We just switch the costume. Okay, and then let's create a variable. Let's create a variable and we call it dice. We create a variable, we call it dice. Okay, very good. So what do we do? As we set this dice to a number between, we go to operator and we get this pick random. We go to operator here, pick random between 1 and 6. Between 1 and 6. And then once we get the die, what do? We come back in variable, we pick the variable die, and we drop it here. It will switch costume to the number that we get here. So if you roll your die, it will take the die variable, the dice variable, and pick a random number between 1 and 6, and then it will set it up now to that costume to show you what you get. So picking a random number to shows that is a fair game. Pick a random number. But at the end, we go back to control. We have to wait for like 3 seconds before you can hit the die again. You wait for like 3 seconds. Okay, good. So what do I mean? Let's go full screen and see what I mean. Touch, click the die, we have a 5. Click the die, it won't work until 3 seconds has elapsed. Click the die again, you have another 5. And you see 5 here, the dice variable. Click the die again, you have 4. 3 seconds later, before you can click again, you have 4 again. 3 seconds later, click again, you have 6. So you will not just be changing immediately. You see, if I'm clicking, I'm clicking continuously. I'm clicking continuously and it's changing. Why is it doing that? Okay, whenever you click, we change. We wait 3 seconds. Let me see. Okay, but now the 4 here and the 4 here is the same. That's what we want to see. We want to make sure that the 4 that appears up there and the 4 that appears here is the same. Let's remove the 3 seconds and see if we will lose that. If we remove the wait 3 seconds, let's go and see if these two numbers will be the same. I have 5, I have 3. Click randomly, I have 1. Okay, all right, so that doesn't stop that. Okay, but you pick and you do all that, and then you wait for 3 seconds before Let me see, if you wait for 3 seconds, it will normally wait, but when you come and hit it again, everything will happen here. Do we wait before or we wait after? Let me see. Okay. So our wait here does not really harm us. Okay, our wait here does not really harm us. Switch the former one. All right, I want to see how relevant this wait is. Well, it's not too relevant here. Yes, I want to avoid the situation where, okay, okay, very good. You get a new one. This wait, you see how this thing waits with the yellow halo around it? If you click here, it means this yellow halo around it. Okay, now let's drop it there. Let's see. All right, that 3 seconds is useful, but for right now, I can't explain the usefulness. Okay, so now how do we make sure that this die, when we roll 3 on a die, or like we have 3 here, this now will move 3 places. Now, so let's go and program movement. In the beginning, this is a position you have to go in the beginning of the game. Now, this 32 movement is very important. So now what do I do? After I roll the die, I have to send a message. Okay, this now will become very useful. I have to send a message, and then I wait. I wait for a movement to happen before we can get this die to work again. So I have to send a message, means the message should be dice rolled. So the dice has been rolled. So that's the message we need to send. Dice rolled. Okay. So when we send this message dice roll, we get to our player. Okay, our player. So let's rename it to player. So that's our player. Let's rename this to dice. That's our die. Even though the singular of dice is die. A die, roll a die. Okay, and this is our board. This first one, we rename it to board. So that's our board. Okay. All right, so let's come to dice. We roll the dice and we broadcast the message dice rolled. And then let's get to our player. And then when our player receives this message, where's the message? When our player receives dice roll, then the player now can now move 32 the number of times, move 32 steps, and we'll repeat it the number of times that we got our dice, the number of times that the dice showed, and that number is stored in the variable dice. So that will come in very handy. So when we roll the die, it will set the dice variable here. You see the dice variable right here on top. When we roll, it will set the dice variable, and then it will set when we roll the die, it will pick 1 to 6. It will set the dice variable, and then it will use that dice variable to switch to the costume dice, because we have named our costume of the dice with numbers: costume 1, costume 2, costume 3. So meaning that when you put the numbers are the names of the costume, it will switch to. But when we come now to then we send, after we do that, we broadcast a message called dice roll. Once we switch to that dice, for example, when I tap this dice, you see it got a 2. And you can see 2 also with the dice variable. So the 2 is showing here as a costume of this dice. 2 is also showing here as a variable. So now we switch the costume to that, and then we say dice has been rolled. Then we go to our player. This is our player right here. In the beginning of the game, we'll drop our player somewhere here. Now, if our player received dice roll, the player now will repeat dice number of times and will move 32 steps. So that's how we realize the game of motion. Okay, so we are playing the game now. I'm in the middle. I roll, I got 4. And then you see we move 4 places from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I roll again, I got 3. We'll move 3 places. I roll again, I got 2. Move 2. I roll again, I got 3. Now we have to slow the game down so that we can see how we move. So how to slow it down, we can just say, hey, we'll be moving, we'll slow the 1 second. Yeah, so if we do that, 1, move 1, roll 4. 4 now, it will move out of the screen. we have to make sure that we can program when we get to the end. How do we jump up to start to moving this way? We move to the left side corner, we move up, move to the right side corner like that. So if we number this thing from 1 right up to the if we can number this tile. So if you move to the end, you just can't skip right here. You have to move up and you start moving towards the left. So how do we program the motion towards the left? Now, let's come here and we see the trick. In mathematics, there's an important trick to move here. So it means we'll not only be changing by 32, we'll be changing by what? One time we'll be changing by 32, another time we'll be changing by, to move left, we'll be changing by 32, negative 32. So how do we bring this negative 32 in existence? We bring this negative 32 by doing a little trick. Inside this multiplication table, we put our 32. We have to multiply 32 by something that will be changing. At one time, it will be 1 times 32, and another time will be what? Negative 1 times 32. So how do we do that? So this will be something that will be changing. 1, then it goes to 32. Back, it goes to negative 32. So this will be a flag. This will be a variable. It changes, even though it changes just between 2 numbers. So we have to go and create a variable to do that, to achieve that. We go to create a variable, and we call that variable sign. It's a sign. So meaning that the sign goes positive and negative. So sign, and we bring sign, and we multiply here by sign. So this will be changing the sign of this 32 from positive to negative. And instead of changing our x by just 32, we change our x by all this. Now, how do we program the sign now to change to positive and the sign to change to negative? In the beginning of our game, since we'll be moving right, what do we need our sign to be? In the beginning of our game, since we'll be moving right, our sign will be what? 1 or negative 1? Our sign will be 1. Very good. It's good you understand that. Then now when we get to the end, how do we know that we have gotten to the end? Now let's look at the last position. At the last position, our x at the last position will be what? At the last position, let's try and get here. At the last tile, let's change x by 32 and see. Let's just change x by 32. We'll start a new game. Okay, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32, 32. Oh my God. 32, 32, 32, 32. Good. The last one says that the x is at 224. 224. So we have to make a condition. We have to bring in a condition to change our x. So let's go again to control and bring an if clause. Bring an if clause. And now in this if clause, what do? We go to operator and we say, hey, if our x variable, and we go to motion and take the x position. If our x position is greater than 224, no, let's just take something like 220. Yeah, so that we guarantee that 224 is above 220. If our x gets to 224, it means you're already at the end. But before the last one, it will be less than 220, right? So it will actually do this last one. But by the time it does the last one, it realizes that what? It is more than what? 220. So if it is more than 220 now, we have to move it up. We have to step it up. And to jump up, we just have to do our y, right? We go to y, and we change y by what? 32. So we take our y up, we change y by 32. And then after we change y by 32, what will happen? We have to make it to be moving what? Left. So do we change x or we just change our flag? We change our sign. We just set our sign to a new value. Now we set our sign to what new value? What can make our sign to change? Because when we get to this point, our sign needs to change back to positive. So our sign will become what? -1. So each time will just be -1, always moving left. We'll only be moving left. It will not. We need to get to -1, then move to this end. Yeah, it needs to get to -1, and then when it moves right to this edge here, now when we jump up, it has to get back to what? +1. Now to move right, gets back here, jump up, -1. Move here, jumps up, +1. So to just put the sign here at -1, it will not work. Now what is the trick? It's a mathematics trick. If I want my sign of me to be alternating, what do? I have to do -1 times my sign. So that if my sign is -1, -1 times -1 will give what? -1 times -1. Its sign is -1. -1 times -1 will give what? +1. And then now when it's +1, we come next time, we do -1 times +1, we do what? -1. So this is how we'll change sign. We'll change sign not by saying that set sign to -1, but set sign to what? -1 times the previous sign. So that is what we're going to do here. This is what is going to help us. But then, this will only happen at the positive direction. Now let's start our game and see how it moves. Okay, let's go full screen. Roll our die. Roll our die. We got a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Roll our die again. We got 1, 1. Roll our die again. We got 1 again, 1. Roll our die. We got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll our die again. We got 3. 1, 2, 3. See what is happening? Is it working? It's working. Roll our die again. We get here. 4. Roll our die again. We got 2. Roll our die again. We got 3. Roll our die again. We got 5. So here, why didn't it move up? Because we have not set a condition at this corner. We've not set a condition. Yeah, we know it could move up, but it could only move up when the X position is greater than what? Greater than 220. Now, for it to move on the left side, we have to come and set the X condition again on the left side. Now, we make the X condition to be, so we need 2 conditions for it to do that. So we have to go to the operator and this time around take what condition? The OR condition. So we'll have this case on the right, and we need to have another case on the left. And that case will be when our X position is less than something. We come here, duplicate the X position, and put it here. Less than what? -220. So when it's less than -220, we'll have that little bump again. So good. So this, we have now a combo of conditions. So sometimes in programming, we don't have to program so many conditions. Just by doing one thing here at both ends, we can have the same behavior that's happening. Both ends, they all have to move up 32 pixels, the Y direction at both ends. And the sign of the sign has to change, has to switch. And that is what's going to be happening at both ends. Now, when we move our position, we can say 0.2 seconds, because 0.2 seconds. The 1 second is too slow. Okay, so now we go full screen, roll the die again and see. Full screen, very good. Now let's play. Roll the die, we got 6. We move faster. Roll the die again, we got 1. Roll the die, we got 4. Faster. 5. Move up. Good. Roll our die. 6. Roll our die. 2. Roll our die. 5. Move up. Roll our die. Is it working at the left corner? Good. So you see that the left corner is working without any issue. Right corner also working without any issue. Roll our die. Got 5. Roll our die. Step up. Good. Roll our die. So this is our board game. This is our board game. So now we got just one player. One player. And then now our player can continue like that right to the end. But it is not fun to just play alone. Now we need to program a computer, and we have 2 modes. Either you choose in the beginning to play with yourself or play with a computer. So now how do you play with a computer? Now to play in the computer, you have to understand the programming, a programming mode called hand off. I roll the die and I move. After I finish move, I tell the computer that I finished move, and then the computer now rolls the die. So again, I will need a player for myself and a player for the computer. So, and then we'll name them player 1, player 2. All right. So let's hit it. So we go to this player and we duplicate it, and then we can call this first player me. Okay. Then this second player, we call it the computer. So it is me against the computer. The computer. Okay. Or we can just say player, we can just say player versus the computer. Yeah, still keep it player versus the computer. Now we have to change the way the computer looks. So in the beginning, we'll not mess up the looks. So the computer, you can give the computer an all black. Okay, let's see if we can give the computer an all black. Oh yes, the computer is an all black. If you start a game, the computer and yourself, you are all, if you shift there, you see that's the all black there. Yeah, the all black is right there. So in the beginning, everybody is there. Okay. Now, how do we now program? We have just one die. So everybody will be rolling the die. So we have just one die. If not, we'll make the computer's own die. So when the computer rolls, it also has to change the same die. The computer also has to roll the same die. How do we do that? For the same die, how do we do that? Now, we have to use a messaging system. Woohoo! Handoff. We have to now see how to program handoff. Okay, now let's go back to our die and see what happens to our die. Before we just say when this sprite is clicked. When this sprite is clicked. So as a player, you will be the only one that will be clicking the sprite, the die. But for the computer, the die will just change, right? When it's a computer stand, the die will change, and then the computer will move automatically. But when it's your turn, you have to do what? Click on it. Now, when you click on it, and then you broadcast dice roll, that when you broadcast your dice roll, that is when your own movement will happen. Now, your own movement will happen. Player, when I receive dice roll, I move. Then now let's go to the computer. Now let's go to the computer. We see all this one again moving. All this moving is also good. It's also good. But the computer own will not move. Let's keep the movement of the computer. The computer too will use the same kind of movement to move. But what will happen for the computer will be this. What will happen for the computer will be this. You see, when you are programming the computer, it's not like you have to change the program that much. You will not change the program that much. Let's come here and see something. So when I receive dice roll, I have to wait for like, when I receive dice roll, no. Let's come and do something. When this player moves, move until finish, we have to send a message to the computer, right? We come here and we do what? We broadcast a message. And this message will say handoff or say computers 10. Computers 10. Good. This message will be computers 10. Okay, good. So this computers 10 will only happen after the computer has made after the player has made all his moves. Okay. Then we go down to the computer, and then it will be when I receive what? Computers 10. When I receive computers 10, then this is what is going to happen. This is what is going to happen. When you receive computers 10, we have to come and we go to the die and see what happened under the dice. This is what happened under the dice. We set the dice to something and we change the costume. So we'll come here and take these two like this. Take these two and drop it in the computer player. Good. And then we put it back, put everything back, no problem. Want to play? Okay. So we come to the computer. When is computer's 10? Did I drop it? Good. We drop this. So the computer has to roll the die again. You see? So and the computer will roll the die automatically. So this is just rolling the die is just a program. But then before the computer does that, after we move, we have to wait like 2 seconds to give the computer some time to breathe. Then once all that happens, the computer continues immediately and repeat the number of times that the computer had in the dice because the dice now has changed. So when the computer now is repeating this one automatically, It's like you have played and then the dice has changed and then you are repeating. So this is happening nicely without any problem. It's like it was a player that even moved, but now it happens automatically. It's the computer that's moving. So now at the end now of this, you have to now switch and send a message back to the player. And now at this end, this message will be the player's turn. This message will be the handoff now to the player. Player's turn. Player's turn. And then now we get down to the die. Player's turn. So it sends a message, player's turn. And when we receive player's turn, now in fact, player's turn now we will not, because after the computer has moved and finished, the player should just know that it's their turn, and the player will go and hit the dice and then move. If not, if we want to make something that will be blinking, hey, when it's player's turn, it will blink, and then the player now can move. We can also incorporate that. The player will blink. When it's player's turn, players can blink. Okay, so I want us to use that. When I receive player's turn, where are the messages? When I receive player's turn, when you receive player's turn, you want the player to wiggle. When you receive player's turn, you want the player to do a little wiggle. So you go down to repeat, and you want the player to shake itself. You want the player to do you want the player to, we can make the player to turn, we can make the player to turn 360 degrees. Okay, so that the player will know that it is his turn. How do we make 360 degrees? Let's see. We go to turn right. So turn right 15. How many 15s are in 360 degrees? How many 15 in 360? About 20 15s? No, not 20. I have more than 20. 2 15s is 30. How many 30 in 360 degrees? 3 times what gives 36? 3 times 12 gives 36. So we have 24 times 15, right? So 15 now will be 24. So we just need it to do 24 spins. But then when it spins, each spin, how long do we want each spin to last? We want all that spin to happen in what? In 1 second. Okay, so how do we do? We take 1 second and we divide the 1 second by what? By 24. So we just come here, we take 1 second and we divide it by 24. So that's it. Math is very important. When I receive player's turn, I spin, then I can move. All right, let's go and rumble and play against the computer and see. Start, everybody start, player starts. 5, 4, player moves. Computer 2 had 4. Is the die that's spinning? Player move. Computer is only moving 4. Is computer 3. Computer is also moving the same number. What is happening? What is happening? Now let's go and see. When we say computers is computer's turn. Hey. When we say computer's turn, okay, when this sprite is clicked, dice change. We pick this and we switch dice to this. Let me go and see our dice. Is our dice a variable only for this sprite? Go and let's rename dice. No. Let's cancel. No, dice is for all variable, because if we go to this guy, we'll still see dice there. Yeah, dice is for all variable. So for this player, what happened? Set dice to pick this. Yeah, he has to set the dice. when computer receive this, wait 2 seconds, computer need to set the dice and the spinning motion. Where is the spinning motion? Oh, it's a dice that was spinning. Let's put this layer 1. Let's take all this to player 1. Okay, we go to player 1. Do we have it? Let's see. All the spinning. Yeah, when I receive players 10, I spin. Okay, so it's not the die that does the spinning. It's like because, okay, good. When the dice, hey, Male. So this is what should happen. What should happen? My goodness. So when we receive computer stem, you see, if we say switch dice, switch costume to this. This is the what? The costume of the computer, right? This should instead happen to what? In the dice, right? In the die. So all this should happen there in the die. Yes, in the dice. So all this we don't need this. We trash this. We go back to the die. And we instead say when we receive computer scan, right? When I receive computer scan, good. Then this is what we have to duplicate and we put under the right so that the computer will roll its die. Very good. So this is how computer plays its own. When I receive computer scan, we roll the die again afresh. And then we'll see now that. Good. So at least we've learned something there. We start our game. We're in the beginning. Roll the die. Roll the die. Computer 2 had a. So the player roll 5 and move. Computer had 6. Good. Players 10. Good. You see now that they're having different numbers. Okay. Computer roll. Hey. Computer went back. Witchcraft. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whoa. When player climb, climb down, become negative. So the computer is switching. So we need a computer sign to be different from player's sign. Oh my gosh. You were wondering why the computer was going back? Hey, when you wanted to believe now in witchcraft. Oh my gosh. So we need a new sign for the computers. Yeah. So we go to the computers one and we do make a variable sign. So you see where we can just make a sign just for this sprite. Okay, so now this is where programming takes a very good turn. So let's go to the player and we get this sign. We have to change this sign now. We make a new variable. Now, to make a new variable, I will call this new variable a tag. I will make it for this sprite only. It will only work for this sprite. So a tag. Now, and in the beginning, we're going to set our tag to 1. And then now, in the place of sign, I'm going to replace everything with tag. In place of sign, I will replace everything now with tag. So just like that, we have made sure that the tag now for this of our player and the one for the computer is different. Now we go to the computer, we see here the computer does not have tag. So we go and create a tag also just for this sprite. The very name called tag, but for this sprite only. So that is where for this sprite only is very important. In the beginning, we set the tag for this sprite only to 1. And wherever we have sign, we change for this, we change it to tag. Okay. Okay, good. So right now, we go and remove everything that is showing and blocking our screen there. Player tag. We go to player and the tag on the screen there, we remove it. Good, our screen now is clean. Now let's go and see. And that's the importance of programming. When you program like that and we have some little errors, we go and correct the errors. All right, so let's go. We start, we are there in the beginning. Touch, move, good. Computer had 1, computer move 1. Our player spins, it means it's our player's turn. We roll the die again. We have 5, we move our 5 places. Computer also got 5. Our player spins, it means we can roll the die. We roll, we got 3, we move 3 places. Okay, we roll the die again, we got 2, we move 3 places. Computer rolls and had 2 also. We roll the die, we got 6. Oh my God. Why are we not skipping now up there to Jericho? What is happening? We go back to our player. So we go to our player. Our player was the one that moved up there to Jericho. So where is the problem coming from? Tag switch. In the beginning, tag is 1. Tag switch here. Change Y by that. Change Y just by 32. And we put sign here. We have to change this sign to what? To tag. We got a problem. We go back here also. Change this sign to tag. Okay, very good. So we're setting things, we're not changing everything. Okay, now we've made the correction. We've seen where the problem is coming from. Good. Start the game again. Roll. I got 5, move 5 places. Computer got 2, move your 2 place. Okay, I spin. It means it's my next. I roll. I got 1. I move 1 place. Okay, I roll. I got 6. Move 6 places. Computer move 1. I turn around. It means it's my turn. I move 3 places. Okay, I roll. I got 1. Computer got 1 also. I roll. I got 3. Computer roll. Computer got that. It's my turn. I roll. I got 5. Computer got 4. Okay. I got 4. Computer roll. Computer got 4 too. My turn. I roll. I got 3. Computer's turn. Computer got 2. My turn. I roll. I got 6. Computer got 2 again. My turn again. I roll. I got 5. Oh, I'm in a streak. I'm streaking. Computer got nothing on me. I got 1. Computer got nothing on me. Computer got 1 too. Computer ain't got nothing on me, man. Like I'm rolling. I'm rolling. Got 3. Computer got 3 too. I got 4. Computer got 4 as well. Is that random number working well like that? I got 2. Computer got 2. Okay. My turn. Got 3. I got 5. Computer got 5 again. What's happening? I got 4. Wait, is the computer learning from us? Our computer got 5 now. I got 3. Computer got 3 too. I got 4. Computer got 6. Okay. I got 4. Where did I move? Hey. Computer got 6. My goodness. Computer is catching up. Click. Now, is the way you click it, click, Click. Click. You have to click and release your hand. Click. Click. You got 6. Computer got 6 too. You got 5. Yeah, I didn't move that much. So we have some bugs. We have some bugs that we have to. So now we'll go on now to program the winner. So the winner, the first to the top. So you see this grid game is like this. If we want to play an easy game where it will be easier to win, we can just make bigger tiles. We can make bigger tiles, right? Bigger tiles and bigger players. That will be level 1. If you win level 1, then you go down to level 2. So we can add levels to this very simple game, but a game where we have learned and mastered a lot of math. Okay, so for now, we'll end here and we'll see how to progress with this game on a later date. Bye for now.